You know, technology is one of those things that I think you just have to set the ground rules on and you have to be aware of. Last night or 2 nights ago, my wife and I actually were having a discussion about technology. She's a work-from-home mother who stays home with our 2 youngest daughters, and she's on the ball all the time about what's happening and what's going on. And as I come home in the evening, she debriefs me on what she's read and what she's watched and who she's spoken to. And there's a website that she emailed me the link to. That's how we communicate, is email and text. And it's a website called Empowering Parents. And this week's topic was, kids are leaving Facebook in droves. Where are they going and how do you keep up? And so I sat down when I was FaceTiming my daughter, my 13-year-old, and I asked her, how are you communicating with your friend? One of the ground rules we set when we allowed her to have a Facebook account was we want her password, we want her login information so we can look at what you're doing, which is very close to stalking, but is also, I think, responsible because we want to know what conversations are being had and how she's responding. And so as I asked my daughter, how are you communicating, what platform are you using, she started talking about Instagram and Kik and some of these other things that I had not heard of because information for a 13-year-old is instantaneous. Just boom, they take a picture, they tweet it out, they post it to an Instagram account or Kik, and then they don't give any forethought to what the repercussions would be. And so one of the conversations that I had with her, which I've had with her continuously, is for every action there is a reaction or responsibility. And so we talk about what you think may be a harmless photograph or really amusing title or tag may be hurtful or may cause you problems down the road. Because children, even children this age, don't realize that the things we post on the internet today are there forever. When I was a kid, my parents had their faces buried in television watching the news or whatever. We've just replaced that. Electronics are just now another diversion from being a good parent or being a good father or not being able to spend quality time with your children. So from my perspective, what my wife and I try to do is just set limits. We try to stay up on what's happening. We try to stay up on what they're participating in, who they're participating with, because unfortunately, as we all know, there are people out there who may not be the most scrupulous or may have other alternatives to communicating with their children. So I think it's important to stay in touch with your children and keep that line of communication open. And again, as I said, in my house at least we set some ground rules. Look, if you're at the table eating dinner, the iPad, the iPhone, whatever is off to the side. We're going to eat dinner, we're going to have our conversations. And then the other thing is just making sure that they understand that if there is an issue, if they have a problem, that they can come to you with confidence, knowing that you'll have that conversation with them and try not to be too judgmental, but more using those as teachable moments. And I don't think that applies to just electronics, but I think that's just being dad in general. But for me, being so busy and being gone so much, I think that's the largest challenge that I have as being married, is that I'm gone all the time. I'm usually up at 6 a.m. I'm out of the house by 7:15, everyone's still asleep, and most nights I get home at 6 or 7 in the evening, so 10 or 12 hour days. So when my 2-year-old wants to talk to me, which it seems like all the time, I'm getting a Facebook message or a tweet or a FaceTime request from my wife while they're sitting at home. So, just make sure you make yourself available when you can, but also try to show that responsibility. I think that's very important. Your children, my children, are looking for guidance. They're looking for those lessons of responsibility. And so, use this just like you would anything else. Don't ignore it as a harmless thing, as a diversion, but use it as an opportunity to teach your children and set the parameters.